Hey, hi students. How are you all? I think after many days we are meeting today, isn't it? Okay, so today we are going to finish our Russian Revolution. It has been a long journey with Russian Revolution, isn't it? We enjoyed it a lot, and now we are at the last part of this lesson, that is Stalinism collectivization. But before starting this, let me give you a quick review of this lesson. In this lesson, we have studied three revolutions which happened in Russia. First, 1905, okay, in which the Tsar, the Russia became constitutional monarchy. Okay, then in 1917, yes, 1917 February Revolution, which was bloodless revolution, and there was no leader in that revolution. So it was accepted by many of the people of Russia, and Tsar was abdicated, isn't it? Then we saw the Russian Revolution in October, yeah, which was a very bloody revolution. Then we saw civil war in Russia amongst greens, whites, and reds. You know very well who are they. Okay. Then we also have seen the difference between radicals, moderates, conservatives. Okay. Then liberals, yes. Then we have talked about and we have distinguished between capitalism, socialism, and communism. Okay. So till here we have reached, and now when the civil war is over, revolution is over, after when the Lenin has been passed away, after that, when Stalin comes to the power, what changes he is making, that we will try to understand now. Okay, so let's begin. What is the Stalinism and what was his collectivization? See, in 1927 and 28, there was an acute shortage of grain, and the farmers, as you know, the Stalin, he has fixed the prices of many commodities, agricultural crops. Okay, so many peasants, they were against these fixed prices, and in such a condition there was acute shortage of grain. So what was the reason behind it? Why there was a shortage? Already there was a drought, famine, and in such a condition there were few landlords who were just storing their grain. As you know, it is the strategy of many businessmen. They store the commodities so as when the prices will rise up, then they will take it out and will sell in double price. Okay. So keeping this in mind, what were the steps taken by the collectivization by Stalin? Let's talk about it. Yeah. When Stalin comes to know about this, he takes many emergency measures and he stops the speculation. Okay, now this is the time to take the decision. So in 1928, there were, see, in Russia, there was a system which was called kulaks. In these kulaks, there were, we can say, aristocrat peasants, okay, landlords. They used to cultivate these lands, okay, and they were individual lands, okay. So what the Stalin does here, grain producing areas were tooled in 1928 and kulaks were raided. These farms were raided, and the decision was taken to make it collective farms. Means all these small farms, all these small kulaks, they are going to be integrated in big one big farm, and it will be called as kolkhoz. Okay, this is called collectivization, and in that kolkhoz, all these people, they will cultivate together and they will be given a share, and all the profit will be given to the nation. That was the system. So to develop modern farms need to seize small lands from peasants and develop state control large lands along with industrial lines. Means now the farm is going to be converted as industry. Okay. Then in 1929, all peasants were forced to work in kolkhoz. Tools were given. Means when they are cultivating the land, farm, tools will be given by the government, but the profit will be shared. Okay. So there were few farmers whose lands were seized by the government, they were enraged. And that's why the authorities, the people in the administration or in the government, their livestock was destroyed. So if you observe the condition of Russia in 1929 to 31, you will come to know that one third livestock fell in Russia. Okay, so those people who oppose this idea of collectivization, they were exiled and deported out of Russia. All the opponents, those who raised the question, those who criticized, all they were sent away from Russia. They were deported and sent in the exile. Some were sent in Siberia, some were sent in jail. Okay. Then actually see, this is the form of socialism. Okay. So it doesn't mean that farmers don't want socialism. They want socialism, but they had their own reasons not to work in these collective farms, and that's why they gave these treaties, or we can say um, requests to their Stalin, that they want they want socialism, but they don't want to work in collective farm. Okay, so these kind of farmers, though they were not working in collective farms, but they were treated unsympathetically. All the policies, all the rules and regulations, and if any facilities are being provided by the government, then these farmers, they were just omitted from this list. So these kind of peasants, they were treated unsympathetically. Okay. So in 1930-33, there was a famine again, and in this famine, 4 million people died. Can you imagine? 40 lakh people, they died. Okay. So these were the steps taken in the collectivization. I hope you might have understood. Means kulaks, small farms, they are integrated, and a big farm is made, that is kolkhoj. Now let's take a one case study of this collectivization. From the second half of February of this year, in various regions of the Ukraine, mass insurrections of the peasantry have taken place, caused by distortions of the party's line by section of the lower ranks of the party and the Soviet apparatus in the course of the introduction of collectivization and preparatory work for the spring harvest. Okay, so here you can see, sorry, here you can see peasants women being gathered to work in the large collective farms. Okay, and here you can see mentioned regions carried over into neighboring areas, and the most aggressive insurrections have taken near the border. The great part, so the village, the what we can say, uh, the bad condition starts here. Between 1st February and 15th March, 25,000 have been arrested. Those who raise the question against such kind of forceful acts. Then 656 have been executed. 3,673 have been imprisoned in labor camps, and 5,580 they were exiled. This is the report from President of the State Police Administration. So this is the official report, and you know very well the real fact is always more than official reports. Okay, so this is was the on the name of socialism. You can understand how the socialism is moving towards dictatorial attitude. So many within the party, because of these policies, many within the party, they criticize the confusion in industrial production under the planned economy and the consequences of collectivization. But still, Stalin, as he had a very dictatorial attitude, he was the second Hitler. Okay, so Stalin and his sympathizers charged these critics with conspiracy against socialism, and accusations were made throughout the country. And by 1939, over 2 million, 20 lakh people, they were in prisons or in labor camps. Those who criticized the policy of Stalin, they were sent in jail, in prison, or they were sent in labor camps. Most were innocent of the crimes, but no one spoke for them. A large number were forced to make false confessions under torture and were executed. Several among them were talented professionals. Okay, So here again there is one case study. You can see this is a letter written by a peasant who did not join the collective farm to the newspaper Krestianskaya Gazeta. I am the natural working peasant born in 1879. There are 6 members in my family. See, this is very important extract. Huh? You will come to know what the people wanted from Russian Revolution. They wanted to get rid of monarchy, which was aristocratic, which was dictatorial. So they just wanted to get the rid of that dictatorial attitude. But finally, just by taking another turn, again they have reached to the same point. And how again they are going back to the dictatorial attitude. So here is the example. Please read it carefully. I will read it for you. There are 6 members in my family. My wife was born in 1881. My son is 16, 2 daughters 19. All 3 go to school. My sister is 71. From 1932, heavy taxes have been levied on me that I have found impossible. And when the taxes are being levied, what they are told that this is for the upliftment of the nation. This is a patriotism. This is a nationalism. Okay. So giving this pretext, they are looting the people. From 1932-35, local authorities have increased the taxes on me and I was unable to handle them and all my property was registered. My horse, cow, calf, sheep with lambs, all my implements, furniture and my reserve of wood for repair of buildings and they sold the lot for the taxes. In 1936, they sold 2 of my buildings. The kolkhoz bought them. In 1937, of 2 huts I had. See, he was having 2 buildings and such a big property, but in these 5 years, in 1935-37, two huts I had, one was sold and one was confiscated. Such a miserable condition is there in Russia. Okay, so you will understand on the name of socialism under the pretext of communism, what going on in Russia. So in this way, when all these things are going on, Russia after becomes USSR. Okay, you know it very well. So what was the global influence of the Russian Revolution and the USSR? What exactly it is? Let's talk about it. Uh, See, the ideas of communism, the ideas of socialism, they are very tempting. We like it a lot when we talk about it. We like it a lot that there should be equality, no one should be poor. Okay, so it gives us hope that there will be an equal society. But actually, under the pretext of this socialism, the people were attracted to these thoughts throughout the world. So that's why in Great Britain there was a communist party. Okay, and Bolsheviks they encouraged colonials and participation in conference of the people of the East. In 1920, such conference was taken. Okay, and the colonials they were encouraged to participate in this. Okay, then Bolsheviks founded Comintern. Comintern it's the office where these Bolsheviks people or we can say socialist people they come together and discuss about the ideas. Then many universities were established to give the universal face to socialism. Okay. Then in 1950s, acknowledgement USSR against Russian Revolution. Okay. United Soviet, United Socialist Soviet Russia. Okay. So in this USSR, I think I have cleared you what exactly USSR. Earlier, there were few countries, for example, Kazakhstan, then Poland, then you can say Ukraine. Yes, all these countries, they were in Russia only, means considered as a part of Russia, but they were not having any right to take the decision about their territory. All the decisions used to be taken by the monarch. Now, the authority was given to them, but under the sovereignty of Russia, that was USSR. So poor country developed in agriculture and throughout the world. This was the message to the world that because of socialism, the country like Russia, the poor country like Russia, it developed in agriculture and industries, but there was a black face. There was another side of this coin that essential freedom was denied in Russia. The people were not allowed. We have seen in last slide how the people they were tortured. So in 20th century, USSR lost fame because in Russia, fundamental rights were not enjoyed. And that's why it lost its momentum. Its fame was lost. And finally, uh, the Russia disintegrated in 1991. Okay, and many states they were just disintegrated from Russia, and afterwards from those countries also small territories they were asking for their sovereignty, and they just disintegrated, but still the ideas are enjoyed throughout the world. Okay, so how was the map in the USSR and how it disintegrated, you can see here. So see, this is the big map of Russia, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. Okay, here Russia you can see earlier. uh, yeah, yes, here you can see this is the Kazakhstan. This was a part of Russia. Georgia, Ukraine, Moldova, Belarus, Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania, okay, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, okay. So all these stans and gias and ias, they were the part of Russia, okay. But after 1991, when it was disintegrated, all these are now sovereign countries, independent countries. Clear? So in this way, all these states, all these countries, they were disintegrated from Russia. And now that part you can see here, this border you can see here, this is only Russia. Okay, so I hope I'm very clear to you in this. So today we have finished this lesson. If you have any queries, any question, any problem regarding this lesson, any historical question or any personality, you are welcome to ask the question. Okay, so next lesson we will start very soon. Till then, thank you so much. Have a nice day.